How y'all doing tonight? Jimmy Grass, the audiologist. Well, we got a lot going on today, you can tell. Car sales were kind of slow today. We had about 10 ups and we sold 2. So there's a 20% ratio, but wish it was a 20, 30 ups and, got a lot more closures. We had a few B backers, but they didn't come back. They said they'd be back to see us this Monday, but they weren't back to see us. So that sometimes they go home and think about the person and the amount of money they're going to finance. They give second thought about what they want to pay for or what they want to pay for per a month price on a car. With the uncertainty of the market right now, with the climate control, the climate of the economy, the recession we're going through. I've been doing this 34 years. I knew it was coming on in 06, 07. Now you look in the background, what's on TV, to see a report about General Motors. Now the auto industry, the buyers of this country, especially the General Motors, Ford, and Dodge, they're thinking like, should I buy Dodge? Should I buy Ford? Should I buy Chevrolet? They bankrupt. Can I get my parts? Can I get service? Well, let's say this. Let's put it this way. Nobody knows nothing for sure in any business. Not even Google. Not even IBM or Xerox. Nobody knows the certainty of the outcome of any business. They just try to keep ahead of your competitors and stay financially strong. General Motors seen a change coming 10 years ago. I seen it coming 10 years ago. I watched a Honda come in. I watched Toyota come in. I watched Toyota 10 years ago had 6 car lines. Now they got 14. You count the Scions, the new Camrys. You get the new trucks, the new Tundras. You get the new Toyota Tacomas. Got 2 new body styles, 2 more cars. I mean, let's face it, Toyota's put more cars on the street now than anybody has. But I just made some phone calls to a couple of dealerships. A couple of my friends on Toyota dealerships, they're off 50% from where they were 3 years ago. So we're looking at the industry and saying, oh, the bubbles burst, right? Or are we thinking like the worst? Is the industry's dying? Hold on, guys. It's not dying. General Motors can build a car for 100 years. So can Ford, so can Dodge. There's a loyalty of Dodge buyers. I talk to them all the time when it comes to the dealership. Some will love their Dodges. Some have their problems. I promise you, everybody has problems with Chevrolet, Chrysler, Ford, Dodge, Buick, Pontiac. They all have their problems. Toyota had problems. They didn't make big news because they were a big company and it was a more confidentiality company, and they kept it to themselves. They had their problems with the Tundra trucks, with the cams. They had problems with the beds, with their tailgates exploding when you put a ramp on them. The answer was fix the tailgate. No, just put the ramps on the bed. Take the tailgate off. That was their answer. So listen. Everybody's got their problems when you're building this many vehicles. So Kia right now is coming out with new cars. Hyundai's coming out with new cars. Let's face the reality. The pie's only so big. You only fit so many car makers in there. I kept telling my brothers and I, over the years, I've been 30 years, that the big 3 are not going to be big 3 for another 10 years. With Toyota, Honda, Kia, Nissan, Acura, Infiniti, BMW, Mercedes, Jaguar. The list goes on. There's a lot of manufacturers out there right now building cars. So somebody's going to either shrinking, or the market's going to share. The market's going to take the share and divide it by itself automatically without the help from the state, from the federal government, or the dealerships. They're not going to be able to control it. It's not in their hands. It's the economy's hands right now. In the last 4 or 5 years, they bought 17 million cars a year. All right. I know you did do the math last time, but listen, when you do that, when you sell that many cars in 1 year, and you do it 3 or 4 years in a row. And these cars lasting now 5 to 10 years. They're getting better built. So what's happening? They lasting longer. People are taking more care of them, so they're not coming in and buying new ones every 3 or 4 years. And in the mid 90s, money was blowing and going. From 93 to 97, I was there. From the Katrina hurricane replacing cars to the market was just still buying cars. It was just a market was on. I could tell. Then by 2006, 2007, I felt the market turning downward. I watched the Chevrolet started selling less cars. I watched Ford start selling less cars. I watched managers get fired all over the city. And they were doing their job, but the owners kept thinking it was managers. It wasn't the managers, it was the buyers. The consumers weren't coming in. It's like Linens and things. A big store like that go out, right? Campos, they went out. This is a big franchise, electronic store that you thought would never go out. Kmart went bankrupt and came back. Now, General Motors is a big corporation. It can get in there. The Malibu's a good car. Let's face it, the Chevy truck, you get your Chevy Lord truck. You're not going to stop the 5.3 or the 5.7 used to be. You're not going to stop Ford's 350. You're not going to stop Ford's diesel 6.0, 6.4. They're going to still be Ford loyalty buyers. Ford builds a good chassis. Dodge builds a good chassis now. Dodge is building a better dashboard. Dodge is building a better rear end. Dodge is building a better motor right now. In that diesel, they're running at 650 pounds of torque and at 350 horsepower. That truck has got power. It had problems earlier in its incubation with emission control with Kappa because of pollution. So did Ford with the 6.0, 6.4. Ford probably should have stayed with the 7.3, worked out an intake manifold problem, worked out an exhaust problem, but they didn't. So Ford went to the 6.0 and the 6.4, and let's face it, I've been to the auction where I've seen a line of 6.0s and 6.4s buyback by Ford. So Ford got shot in the foot by International building their motors for them. Cummins, let's face reality, it has 30% less moving parts, much better engine, built as a diesel from the ground up. Cummins diesels are in compressors, they're in cranes, they're in all kind of commercial sites. I sound pumped up tonight because I am pumped up tonight. We're going through a lot. General Motors is going through, a lot of altering changes right now. Never before, they're losing the Pontiac line. Saab don't know where it's going to go. Saab might not be around for another 10, 15 days. Who knows what that's going to do with that? Hummer, was that a fad? We don't know. Maybe there's going to be a buyer for it, turning it around, make it a bigger car, make it an electric car. Who knows? For the future, for what I can see right now, it's had its run. It's big, ugly, bulky car, no gas mileage, no visibility out of it, but it looked good. It looked muscled. It looked like the military. Maybe we were hoping too much that when the military war was over, everybody would buy a Hummer, thinking all the military would come out and say, look, I drove a Hummer in the war. I want to buy it when I get out. Well, the war is the same way. The war's still going on, and the Hummers are getting 8 miles per gallon, 10 miles per gallon, and General Motors is not profitable with them right now. So it's not like the Jeep. Let's face it, we got a Jeep that's been around since the World War I, World War II. It's still a Jeep, okay? And they're still going to be popular. You're going to have the parties for the college kids with the kegs in the back, and you're going to have the hunters put them in the woods, and you're going to have the girls pull down the bikini top on them and drive around the city. Jeep ain't going nowhere. That's a brand name. That's a four-wheel drive, perfect size vehicle. And even now that the four-door, my brother's got a four-door. He loves it with the kids. Chrysler can work on some of their lines. The 300 is a great seller. Their Aspirin is not the best seller, like the Durango was the best seller right now. But we're going to try to get a smaller line from Fiat. I hope they build a great little foreign car that can come over here and compete with Toyota and Nissan and Kia and Hyundai. And it ain't going to happen overnight. When they bring them over here, they're going to have glitches. Excuse me. And they're going to be other problems with this car because it's going to be a brand new line back over to this country again. And they're going to have to take Honda. They're going to take Toyota. Toyota and Honda got their ideas from Mercedes and BMW. If you want to look at a Honda, look at the wishbone suspension, check out the doors, check out the door frames, check out the handles, check out the three-way three-way hinge on the back of the ledge of the trunk of a Honda Accord. That's the same hinge that BMW used. So Honda got the shit together, excuse my language, and built the car, a good car, and it runs good, it drives good, and it's good resale value. So did Camry. Camry took a Mercedes and BMW and built it, and when they built the Lexus, they said, look, build me this car. Build me a BMW, but don't put BMW, build Lexus on it, make it run idle, make it last forever, make it go 250,000 miles. And I've seen many Lexuses that are 10 years old still going on the highway with 250,000 miles on them. They had their repairs, and they had some of the LCD problems on the dashboard, but they're still going. I've seen Camaros that have been around. I've seen Dodges been around. I've seen Fords been around. They all been around, but guess what? The truth is, they all been around for a different price. You're paying $60,000 for a Lexus, you're buying $60 worth of quality. You buy a Rolex or you buy a Timex. That's life, that's reality. In car business, you're not buying a Mercedes when you buy a Dodge or Mercedes or a Chevrolet. You're buying a middle class car, which more middle class in this country than there is rich. And so right now, with the recession going on, the middle class is being hurt by the recession big time. The rich are feeling it, but not like the middle class. So the middle class is not buying cars right now. They bought 17 million 3 years in a row. Probably 5 years in a row. I've counted 3 or probably 5. So in reality, it's going to come back on. Those buyers that bought that car, those cars are going to wear out a little bit, or they're going to change their attitude, or they're going to be revamping a new body style. Chargers, the GEA just came out for Pontiac. It's going to change. It's going to all come back together again. But will it be better produced? Yes. Well, there should be like a General Motors and a Cadillac franchise. Not Buick, not Pontiac. You don't need other lines. You don't need a Saturn. You need General Motors and you need a Cadillac. The Cadillac be the top flagship like Lexus, and the General Motors would be like a Toyota. Build 15 lines, which they already have, from the Malibu to the Cobalt to the Chevrolet truck to the Tahoe to the Suburban. And don't make a GMC. You don't need to make that. Change the grill on the Chevrolet and make it like the high dollar Chevrolet.